Japan is investing in strengthening bonds with Asian countries, and Japanese countries recently won a $370 million contract to start a new underground railway system in Jakarta. Second scenario, the cost of space vehicles is high, no doubt, but the costs of complying with legal and regulatory paperwork and rules is huge too. Okay, I think the blank here is somewhere here. I'm not too sure. The cost of space vehicles is high, no doubt, but the cost of complying with legal and regulatory paperwork and rules is huge too. So here again, we're looking at a verb, right? The verb form, action word. Construction is in the noun form. Manufacture again is not the right form. Launch again is a noun form. Assembly again is a noun form. The only thing that gives the right meaning here in the context is building, right? Japan is investing in strengthening bonds with Asian countries, and Japanese countries recently won a $370 million contract to start building a new underground railway system in Jakarta. So the money is going to be used for this purpose, to build a new underground railway system. Likewise, the cost of building, it's between off and space vehicles. Cost of building space vehicles is high, no doubt, but the cost of complying with legal and regulatory paperwork and rules is huge too. So again, logically, right, this is what the context. I'm assuming the first question type, which is these single blank, fill in the blanks, was not challenging. However, we don't know that yet. A troubled student and his PhD guide dash away for websites to reduce the incidence of spam which troubled internet users in the 2000s. Second scenario, one of the biggest drawbacks of concrete is that it often develops cracks, and scientists have now self-healing concrete. So here again, we obviously look for a verb, action word, but are they in the right forms? So this is something that they've already done, right? Which means I need a past tense verb. So created, if it was, then yes. So it's not. Devised seems to be like a right choice. Developed again is not in the right. Vivek Kumar, developed is not in the right form. Thought, we're looking at the meaning that I want here is mostly on the lines of something that was a plan or something that was invented, right? By careful thought. They came up with a plan, or they invented something or came up with something. So the word that gives us this meaning is devised. A troubled student and his PhD guide planned a way or invented a way for websites to reduce the incidence. One of the biggest drawbacks of concrete is that it often develops cracks, and scientists have now invented self-healing concrete. So the right word that brings in that meaning is devised, right? Invented again, not in the right form. So are you following? Why do we need a past tense verb? The context tells us that. So they've already done this. So it's stating to us, giving us a statement saying this has been taken care of, this has been done, this is what is in right now. The self-healing concrete is now in the picture. Likewise, there is a website which has been invented or created, which again are not in the right forms. So the only form that is correct is option 2, which fits both the context, right? Politicians have promised to do what? The goal of eradicating extreme poverty many times, but have failed because they cannot agree about what exactly counts as poverty and how exactly to measure it. Second scenario, Reserve Bank hoped that a cut in its benchmark rate will dash a reduction in inflation and improve confidence in the economy. Options are achieve, get, end, finish, undertake. So in the context, I can quickly eliminate 3 options, which is option 2, 3, 4, out. Right? To get the goal, to end the goal, to finish the goal, even if it sounds colloquial, finish the goal, right? Not colloquial as in a collocation. The second one, will get a reduction, will end a reduction, will finish a reduction is not appropriate, right? So out of achieve and undertake, quickly, when I say I'm undertaking something, what am I saying? Undertake means to take on. I'm going to do this, right? Achieve on the other hand means what? So you either successfully bring about something or reach something by some effort or a particular skill, right, etc. So now let's go back. So the first one, politicians have promised to, we have to choose between achieve and undertake, right? Even if I say that undertake can fit in the first scenario, it's not very effective in the second scenario, right? Reserve Bank hope that a cut in its benchmark rate will take on a reduction in inflation. Rather, achieve, right? Successfully bring about. So the result, what they're looking at is a reduction in inflation and improving confidence in the economy. Achieve seems to be the perfect fit in second scenario. Likewise, the first one, politicians have promised to achieve, successfully bring about or reach this particular goal. Your clue words is goal itself. Now also understand that undertake also means promise to do a particular thing. That is more effective in the first scenario but not very in the second scenario, right? So we need to choose a word that best fits both these scenarios, and we can safely say that is option A, which is 1 and not 5. Politicians have promised to achieve the goal of eradicating extreme poverty. Reserve Bank hopes that a cut in its benchmark rate will achieve a reduction in inflation. Yeah. According to some experts, subsidizing crop insurance to a large extent may be bad for the environment since farmers may take dash, such as farming on floodplains or steep hills. In the 1990s, Germany was known as the sick man of Europe and had high unemployment, but its success today is on account of the huge dash it took in reforming the labor market. So here our options are danger, chance, possibility, risks, threat. So collocation wise, right, account of huge risks, may take risks, taking risks, taking chance also is a collocation. However, in the context, instead of huge chance, huge risks is more appropriate, right? So according to some experts, subsidizing crop insurance to a large extent may be bad for the environment since farmers may take risks such as farming on floodplains or steep hills. Likewise, in the 1990s, Germany was known as the sick man of Europe and had high unemployment, but its success today is on account of the huge risks it took in reforming the labor market. So risks fits both the scenarios effectively. Thompson forged Daniel's will in an effort to inherit, I'm assuming this is a typo, his, and then you have options. Okay, option A is fortune, option B is luck, option C is destiny, option D is riches, option E is riches, loan and then riches. Is that what it is? There are 5 options, right? Or is already a part of the sentence and then you have these 4 options. So here we're talking about obviously some guy trying to forge another person's will, right? Something that you leave behind after you die, right? We know that it can be a house, it can be a property, it can be possessions, jewelry, whatever it is. In an effort to inherit his, and then I have all these options. Now, just to clarify, right? You can inherit a fortune, right? As a collocation. You can also inherit riches. In terms of collocation, right? Are you following? In terms of collocation, both are correct. However, strictly speaking, given the context, right, we can definitely rule out all 3 other words. He is forging this person's will in an effort to inherit luck, destiny, loan. All these 3 are illogical options. B, C, D. We can completely rule these 3 out, right? However, fortune has different meanings. Right? It can mean fate. Like somebody see, you know these people, right, who kind of look at your hand and tell your fortune. Basically, they're telling your fate, right? And somebody said luck. Yes, that's another meaning, right? It can also mean success. It can also mean destiny. Basically, fate, destiny, all the same, right? So, though fortune also amounts of material possessions or money or wealth, right? It has various other meanings also. But riches has only one meaning. What is that? A great amount of money. Money or possessions, right? So given the context, if I have to choose a better word, right? A more effective word, I would choose option E, riches. Thompson forged Daniel's will in an effort to inherit his riches. Are you following? Right? Because strictly in the context, and if we are money, wealth, possessions, all of that, and solely taking up that meaning is riches, right? Fortune, yes, you do inherit a fortune, but it has other meanings as well. So, in order to choose the most effective word, I would go with E, right? Most of you have come back and said E, like I said. But if you are in doubt or things like that, again, I'm saying with E, which would be a more ideal fit given the context that we have, right? So for this context, the answer is option E. However, just so you know, Inheriting a fortune also is a collocation. It is not completely incorrect, I would say. It's not invalid or incorrect. But just to choose a more better option, we'll go with riches.